You just have to say, I want to talk to you about Elon Musk, and boom, people love talking.
And I'm reasonably happy with how things turned out. So it's like...
Touche.
And his father took the side of the person who beat him up instead of Elon.
You working on a game too?
No.
Okay.
No, but I mean, like, I don't know.
Well, Musk had somewhat of an apocalyptic vision, as he often does, of what can happen.
Twitter in profit now?
No, Twitter is rough. I'd say we're roughly break even.
The big question in the public mind about Elon Musk, as a London cabbie once put it, is whether he's a pillock or a genius. The quick answer is that he's both. A better answer is that there's a lot of detail between those two extremes. So much so, in fact, that it takes Walter Isaacson 688 pages to cram it all in. But cram it in, he does. Isaacson is an experienced biographer, with lives of Einstein, Benjamin Franklin, Leonardo da Vinci, Jennifer Doudna, and Steve Jobs to his credit. With the benefit of hindsight, that last volume looks like a practice run for a life of Elon Musk, who, like Jobs, makes people wonder whether appalling personal behavior can be separated from the relentless drive that has made him successful. But at least Jobs was not a Twitter troll, whereas Musk likes shitposting so much that he bought the company, which may turn out to be the worst decision he's ever made. And it's that particular social media addiction that has shaped public perceptions of him, leading people, and the media, to regard him purely as a pillock and overlook his remarkable achievements. Like what? Well, as he said, introducing himself to the audience of Saturday Night Live, "To anyone I've offended, I just want to say I reinvented electric cars and I'm sending people to Mars in a rocket ship. Did you think I was also going to be a chill, normal dude?" But the full roll call of Musk's achievements runs like this: PayPal, of which he was a co-founder, Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, that's now providing internet links to Ukrainian forces, Neuralink, the Boring Company, which is a large-scale tunneling operation, and a new AI company called XAI. Of these, the only really mundane business is the tunneling company. Yet even as Musk struggles to relate to the actual humans around him, his plans for humanity are grand. A fully reusable rocket is the difference between being a single-planet civilization and being a multi-planet one. Musk would maniacally repeat this message to his staff at SpaceX, his spacecraft and satellite company, where every decision is motivated by his determination to get Earthlings to Mars. He pushes employees at his companies — he now runs 6, including X, the platform formerly known as Twitter — to slash costs and meet brutal deadlines because he needs to pour resources into the moonshot of colonizing space before civilization crumbles. Disaster could come from climate change, from declining birth rates, from artificial intelligence. Isaacson describes Musk stalking the factory floor of Tesla, his electric car company, issuing orders on the fly. "If I don't make decisions," Musk explained, "we die." One of the merits of Isaacson's book is the way he delves into how these formidable organizations came into being. It's clear from his account that none of them would have happened without Musk's distinctive combination of vision, maniacal determination, personal commitment, and ruthlessness. Anyone who thinks, for example, that mass production of cars is easy has never worked in the industry. And in the teeth of the contemptuous derision of the automobile industry, Musk's firm is now one of the world's leading car manufacturers. Similarly, SpaceX is an incredible feat. The engineering challenges of building reliable and reusable rockets are formidable enough, but doing so within budgets that are a fraction of those enjoyed by the American aerospace giants who have been accustomed to cost-plus contracts is equally remarkable. The main reason the US is still in the space race, for example, is because NASA's stuff rides on SpaceX's rockets. When in 2014, Isaacson writes, NASA awarded SpaceX the contract to build a rocket that would take astronauts to the space station, it had on the same day given a competing contract with 40% more funding to Boeing. By the time SpaceX succeeded in 2020, Boeing had not even been able to get an unmanned test flight to dock within the station. Much of Musk's industrial success comes from his persistent attention to engineering detail and willingness to overturn practices that had congealed into holy writ in these industries. He is a great believer in vertical integration, making things yourself rather than outsourcing to others, for example. So Tesla writes all its own software, whereas other car manufacturers outsource theirs to Silicon Valley giants. Musk believes that there must be no barriers between design and manufacturing. Designers' desks should be physically close to the production line. He believes that in redesigning many industrial processes, automation is the last thing you should do, not the first. So, just as Henry Ford is remembered not so much for the Model T, but for the production line that made it, Musk will probably be celebrated for his obsession with the machine that builds the machine. There is, however, a dark side to this industrial creativity. The terms that come continually to mind from reading Isaacson's account of how Musk runs his pioneering enterprises is brutal. A fanatical worker himself, he doesn't give a toss about employees' work-life balance. He believes that if people want to prioritize their comfort and leisure, they should leave his employment. He emails employees reminding them that a maniacal sense of urgency is our operating principle. Isaacson's study of Musk's management style is filled with sudden dismissals, capricious decision-making, and apparently sociopathic indifference to the feelings of other people. As one of his oldest friends from university put it, you can work with him or be his friend, but not both. And yet, at least some of his employees also see him as an inspirational figure. This could be because his goals and aspirations are unfailingly ambitious and bold, and sometimes plain wacky. Or it could have something to do with the fact that in a crisis he will pitch in wholeheartedly himself. During the crisis of the production of early Model 3 Teslas, for example, it is said that he slept by the production line for several weeks, which, among other things, must make him the oddest billionaire ever. Isaacson has ably conveyed that Musk doesn't truly like pushback. Some of his lieutenants insist that he will eventually listen to reason, but Isaacson sees firsthand Musk's habit of deriding as a saboteur or an idiot anyone who resists him. The musician Grimes, the mother of 3 of Musk's children, the existence of the third, Technomechanicus, nicknamed Ta, has been kept private until now, calls his roiling anger demon mode, a mindset that causes a lot of chaos. She also insists that it allows him to get stuff done. It's a convenient assessment, one that Isaacson seems mostly to accept. As Shakespeare teaches us, he writes, all heroes have flaws, some tragic, some conquered, and those we cast as villains can be complex. Well, yes, but couldn't this describe anyone? What is there to say specifically about Musk himself? Isaacson even managed to get Errol, Elon's intermittently estranged father, to talk, though mostly what Errol offers are rambling, bigoted comments, while insisting he isn't racist, and self-aggrandizing tales, for at least one of which turns out to be probably false. Errol has 2 children with his stepdaughter. As for Elon, he has 10 children with 3 women, one of whom, Siobhan Zillis, who bore his twins in 2021, is an executive at one of his companies. Another child, Musk's first, born in 2002, passed away from sudden infant death syndrome when he was 10 weeks old. He really wants smart people to have kids, who offered to be her sperm donor so that, Isaacson adds, the kids would be genetically his. At the time, Grimes and Musk were expecting their second child, a girl. Musk didn't tell Grimes that he just had twins with one of his employees. But the details of such domestic intrigues are, in the book and in Musk's life, largely beside the point. He is mostly preoccupied with his businesses, where he expects his staff to abide by the algorithm, his workplace creed, which commands them to question every requirement from a department, including the legal department and the safety department, and to delete any part or process they can. Camaraderie is dangerous, is one of the corollaries. So is this. The only rules are the ones dictated by the laws of physics. Everything else is a recommendation. At various moments in Elon Musk, Walter Isaacson's new biography of the world's richest person, the author tries to make sense of the billionaire entrepreneur he has shadowed for 2 years, sitting in on meetings, getting a peek at emails and texts, engaging in scores of interviews and late-night conversations. Musk is a mercurial man-child, Isaacson writes, who was bullied relentlessly as a kid in South Africa until he grew big enough to beat up his bullies. Musk talks about having Asperger's, which makes him bad at picking up social cues. As the people closest to him will attest, he lacks empathy, something that Isaacson describes as a gene that's hardwired. What shaped this extraordinary individual? Isaacson seeks an explanation in his early childhood to being a very bright boy with undiagnosed Asperger's who was savagely bullied at school and had a sociopathic father, Errol. Errol was a Jekyll and Hyde figure who would regularly launch into an hour or more of unrelenting abuse directed at his young son, who would just have to stand there, not allowed to leave. Isaacson wonders whether the adult Elon's mood swings, light and dark, intense and goofy, detached and emotional, with occasional plunges into what those around him dreaded as demon mode, are a product of this traumatic upbringing. And going back to that question of whether bad behavior is linked to success, Maybe it really is true that nice guys finish last? That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.